Uh,
You're a baby, Ross. I didn't
Thank
know.
you. Thank you. It's not how I feel, as
It's
you
this.
probably remember. The salt is making it look a little bit more refined.
And,
Um,
yes, more refined, exactly.
all right. We got the thumbs up, Christy.
All
So,
right. Yay.
um, well, I just want to say good afternoon, everyone who's watching online. If you don't know my face and voice by this point, my name is Ross Bowdy, and I am the director of Airbnb Midterm Rentals at Fox. And today we have the pleasure of welcoming our friend Christy Sheehan into the podcast, webinar world, whatever it is that we are doing here. Um, but we're just excited to have a conversation with Christy today because there's so many aspects of what Sundance is bringing to our town and to our state, and Christy is involved in a lot of those different things. And so we really have enjoyed partnering with her on many a thing. But I think your perspective is one that will really help people as they navigate all the different things that come with Sundance and what it means for them and for the city, and maybe even opening their home. So, but Christy, the reason we like talking to her is she is the owner of the Scout Guide Boulder. But if you don't know it, you need to know it. It's a lovely publication slash group of businesses that are all about coming together and making things amazing. And we've just been so lucky to have found you guys in the last year and to partner with you guys. And even my wife's business as well. She's actually the reason we met, because she was like,
Allie,
this
old
sounds awesome.
friends.
That's
Little
right.
shout out for old friends in
Well,
Louisville, right?
shout out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, Christy's also a Sundance ambassador. And I want to dig into what exactly that means a little bit later. She also is one of the people bringing a new company called The Edit, which we're going to get into later. And then last and not least, she's a Boulder homeowner and community connector. So there's things that
So
are
many
actively
things, Ross.
happening for you
I don't even know
that
where to start.
that Sundance is affecting you in one way, shape, or form. And so,
Yeah.
what we hope to do today is just to hear more about what it is you're hearing with all of those different things that you're navigating, and the connections and people you've met over the last X amount of months. And so
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Cool.
start us off by let's get into Scout Guide a little bit.
Okay.
Could you help people who haven't heard of Scout Guide give a little background? What is it? Who are you guys? And kind of maybe even what the mission you would say is behind Scout Guide.
Yeah. So the mission behind the Scout Guide is to support local. It started about 15 years ago in Charlottesville, Virginia. It's now in 100 cities across the country. And the mission of the guide is to have almost like a personal recommendation from the people from our team as to who are like the best businesses in Boulder. So if one of my friends were coming into town, who's the dentist I would tell them to use, who's the property manager, what are the businesses that they should have on their radar, and whether those businesses are brand new, just coming to Boulder and hitting the ground running, or they've been here for 70 years. We're here to just feature those businesses that are providing like 5-star service, excellent product, great customer service. It's a personal recommendation from the editors to who are the best businesses, locally owned. We only feature locally owned businesses in our guide. It's a way for us to continue to feature businesses that are the ones that make Boulder and Boulder County really unique. We're really lucky here in Colorado. We have a Denver guide, a Fort Collins guide, an Aspen guide, and the Boulder guide. So we have this
Yeah.
little Colorado coalition where we work really closely together, and we do a lot of collaboration across markets. So it's a great organization to be part of, and I'm really happy to be able to be the Boulder Guide editor, because it has allowed me to really connect with our community in a way that I've lived here for 26 years, and as the Boulder editor, it's really changed how I see Boulder.
Yeah, I love that. And I think one of the things that drew my wife Allie and me in early was I feel like what you guys produce is different than a lot of other sort of like advertising mechanisms. I feel like there's a attention to design, beauty. There's an intentionality to it. You know, I worked at a newspaper for years selling ads, and
Mm.
those did not look the same way that I feel like Scout Guides look.
A little
And
different, just a little
and
different.
no, it's way different. I'm not gonna let people say that. But I think that's one of the things that I really love is I feel like you guys have a lot of intention and attention to what it is you guys are doing in being local, how you make everyone look, and how you are bringing people together. And I think it's a really cool thing. And I don't know any other publication that does like community events
Hmm.
or Scout Guide
Yeah.
participants and the greater community as well, which I think is really cool.
Well, you touch on a few things I think that make us different. One is we don't do a lot of editorial in our print guide. We are trying to tell the story behind a business through beautiful photography and through really intentional and creative photography. So there's not a lot of words on the pages. It's about being able to get to know these business owners and their business in a really beautiful way. So we spend a lot of time on the creative for all of the photo shoots. And then it's through other avenues, through our community connections, our newsletter, our website, where we can continue to tell that story, to promote our businesses on a more regular basis and really dive deep into the story behind the businesses.
I love that. As you talk about the story you're trying to tell, as Sundance has come into light,
Mhm.
and like one of the first Sundance events I went to was you guys put together an event up at Chautauqua this summer, I want to say, or early
Yeah.
fall, uh,
Hmm.
kind of discussing like what does this mean for local businesses? How how are you thinking about using that same attitude that Scout Guide has in the guide to kind of highlight Boulder as Sundance comes to town?
Yeah, I think when we started talking to people in Park City, um, it was a little disheartening, I think, to learn that a lot of those businesses were not as engaged with Sundance
Hmm.
as we wanted for Boulder. And so when we found that Boulder had won Sundance, we really wanted to change the narrative. We wanted
Hmm.
the community to don't pack up and leave, stay, right? Stay and be part of this incredible legacy event that we're so lucky to have in our community. As a business owner, right, stay and find ways to engage with the Sundance visitors, with the filmmakers, the directors, the producers. The excitement is it's going to be over the top, and I think there was a little bit of a lost opportunity in Park City. Some of the
Yeah.
businesses were not feeling as fully engaged, and we felt like at the Scout Guide, having this group of businesses, 60 plus businesses in Boulder, and the same number in Denver, Fort Collins, Aspen, that we really wanted to have a seat at the table. We wanted to be able to, feature and highlight our members to the Sundance community, to Sundance Institute, to the Sundance Film Festival. So we've been actively working to be engaged.
Love that. Well, I'm sure we'll touch base on some Scout Guide stuff as we continue to go, but I just don't want to. I could talk about Scout Guide for a long time, but I want to jump into the Sundance ambassador role
Mhm.
that you've taken on, and I think when it's all said and done, I think you bring a lot of value with all the things I said. But I think this is a unique thing, and I'm kind of curious what it means to be a Sundance ambassador and some of the things that you're learning along that journey. And I think it's pretty new, so like we
Mhm.
understand there's only so much that you know, but I'd just be curious what you're finding out that role is meaning for you.
Yeah, the role is it's amazing, and it's a way for kind of community leaders, whether it's cultural leaders or business leaders, people who are philanthropic in the community, to come together and learn from Sundance about all of the things that are happening, and then we can be a conduit for that information kind of to our communities. So I feel like my role is to just be a good listener, to sit at the table and listen to Sundance about what their goals are, what are the opportunities that they see within the community, what are some of the projects that are a main area of focus for them, and then I can take that information and relay it to my members, and we come up with ways that we can activate around those things.
I love that. And it are there any things that come to top of mind that you've heard in the short time that you're like, oh, this is different than maybe what I thought when I first thought about Sundance coming here, what they want, how they want the community to engage with the event in and of itself that you think would help the greater community
Yeah,
know?
I mean, so many things. Number one, I think that the big message is for people to engage with Sundance, right? And whether that means renting your home so that people from out of town have somewhere to stay, or whether that means staying and volunteering, um, opening your business, you know, being I think about like when 70,000 people are coming to Boulder and it's a little bit of chaos on Pearl Street, and there's that person standing there with like a map trying to figure out where they're going. Like, be the person who says, "Can I help you?" Right? It's like,
Yeah,
oh, kind of being representing Boulder in a way that we can be proud of, and in that way, we are also kind of helping Sundance. We want, you know, people to come to Boulder and be like, wow, now I know why they picked Boulder to host Sundance. This place is amazing. The people are kind, the businesses are cool. Um, so just there's so many ways I think to engage with Sundance, and it it varies by the person, the business, and what their goals are. I think coming out of it, but at the heart of it, I think Sundance wants Boulder to be engaged and just be excited that it's here. We should be excited that it's here. It's an
yeah.
incredible event.
I love that. And I actually love that example of somebody with a map in their hands wondering where they're supposed to be. In the way that the community can do more than just offer their business and their home, but like offer a hospitable nature that actually
Right.
lends
Totally.
itself to a good overall experience.
Yeah.
That's way bigger than just what you ate and where you slept,
Right.
which is great. But also those other two things I think are very important. But I think I like the deeper level of kind of thinking, how do we be good hosts of this
Exactly.
event and engage?
Exactly.
Um, this question that I thought of, I don't know if you'll have a good answer for it, but I'm kind of fascinated by
I'll
the
try.
idea. But is there anything as you've kind of learned in your own research and engagement and then becoming an ambassador, is there anything that you think people are misunderstanding about Sundance coming to Boulder? That there can be a little bit of like a reframing of,
Yes.
no, that's not what this is.
Right. For one, I think people don't forget that Sundance is a nonprofit,
Oh, interesting.
right?
Yeah.
Sundance is a nonprofit. I think a lot of people think Sundance comes in with, hundreds of millions of dollars to spend, and it's all, fancy, fancy. And at, at the end of the day, Sundance is a nonprofit, and they are running this in support of small filmmakers, which is an incredible mission. It's in support of artists. They do more than just film. They do support art and music. So it's this incredible nonprofit organization in support of the arts. So
Hmm.
it's bigger than just the film festival. And the film festival is more than just the 10 days in January. They do programming all year long, and it's in support of the arts. And so I think people keeping that in mind, that's why they need volunteers, they need people
Yeah.
to donate, they need businesses to engage with them, sponsorships, all those things are the only things that help them continue to run.
I like that. We hosted a panel on Monday night at Relish here in Louisville, where we had some city and state people who are working on all of the things surrounding housing. And one of the things that I liked that Jill Grano said is she was like, Sundance needs us as a community to do these things. They don't have a ton of staff to come in and help housing work and help, commercial space work and help restaurants figure out how to engage in events and food.
Right.
Like they need us to do this. And I think where she could have added a thing that would have been helpful, not a negative, but like to be like, because they're a nonprofit organization who is
Right.
not making millions of dollars putting on this event.
Right.
I think the fact that it caters to an industry that has big dollars attached to it, and that it's a lot of humans, and a lot of humans coming to an event brings dollars with it. But I think that's really, that's a good reminder to be like, this is a nonprofit organization that
Right.
has a mission of helping young filmmakers and other things throughout the year be able to bring their art to the world. And
Yeah.
I think that's
And to tell
really,
stories. What I
yeah,
love is like I think this like the Scout Guide, we love to tell the stories of our businesses and our business owners, and I feel like Sundance, they tell stories, whether they're
yeah,
true stories or fictional. The storytelling it's exceptional, and if you've ever sat in a Sundance screening, they had one up in Longmont recently, and the way just in a smaller theater and the way the community, like you can just sense the energy and the engagement behind like a good story. And oftentimes the producer or the director or the writer are there. It's really incredible. This is not your Marvel movie at the AMC theater. This is like
you're correct.
really special.
Yeah.
Not
I,
that those aren't great. I love
no,
them,
you're not.
but this
I
is
didn't hear
something
it that way.
different and really special. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think I would say in my youth, I was more of a movie buff than I have time for in my older age. But like I've I've cared if something won an award at Sundance Film Festival. That meant I kind of want to watch that movie, whatever it is.
Because they're
I'm
usually
interested in what is
amazing,
it, 'cause the
right?
story's
Yeah.
going to be worth it. There's not going to be this huge budget. The story's going to
Right.
carry the film,
Exactly.
and it just, yeah, I feel like that is a easy thing for me to be like. I almost said pick up a DVD. That shows me where I'm at. Um, Unfortunately, it's not as easy when you're on streaming devices to be like
Right.
Sundance Film Festival winner. But
Right. Right.
back in the day, you remember that logo on
Mm.
like a DVD case or even a VHS
Yes.
case. I'm that old, Christy.
Totally. What's
Uh,
your favorite Sundance film that you can remember? Do
the
you have
one that
one?
I think of as Little Miss Sunshine was a
Mine
Sundance Film
too.
Festival winner.
Yes, it's
But
one of
I
my
know
favorites.
there's others that I'm missing in this
But
moment.
that's a great one.
But that is a
Yeah.
great example of really famous people in it. But you could tell it was like a movie
Tighter
made with
budget.
like a real small budget, like all the things, and beautiful storytelling. So,
Beautiful storytelling. Yeah.
well, we could go down that road for a long time. So I'm gonna
Okay.
steer us
Let's
this
shift
way, even
gears.
though I love that shift for people to kind of think about. But um, you own a home in Boulder. You live in Boulder. So like even if you weren't doing the Scout Guide and the edit and the Sundance Ambassador, this would be having an effect on you. And as somebody who's there and seeing the impact all around you in your neighborhood and your friends, um, what feels exciting? What feels uncertain as a homeowner
Yeah.
as you go into this moment? And maybe not for you specifically, but what you're
in
hearing in your
what I'm
community.
hearing. Yeah, I think uncertainty is about when there's a lot of renters in town, what happens to a neighborhood, right?
Mm.
The house right next door to you is being rented. What can I expect, right? Is it late night parties? Is it cars coming and going? Is it disruptive to, with my kids going to school,
Yep.
right? Things like that. Um, as a homeowner, I'm like, ooh, who's going to be staying next door, right? Like, I'll be like, oh, is there a party going on over there? Knock, knock.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you need ice? What do you need? Um, but so I think those concerns are valid.
Yeah.
It's an unknown. Um, so that's one thing that I hear from people. I think the excitement around, oh my gosh, like maybe we do take the kids out of school and go away for a week and rent out our home. How interesting, how exciting. How do I get my home ready? Because I think that's a really important part of renting out your home is making sure it's rented and ready to be
Yeah.
rented, so that you have repeat people.
Totally.
Um, yeah, I think those are the main things. I mean, if I were not going to be running 100 things during those 10 days,
Right.
I'd probably have you come and check out my house. But this year, at 2027,
Yeah.
Sheehan's are going to be here. So
That's right. And the Bowdies are staying in their house this first year too, for that same reason. But open to what the future could hold.
yeah,
Um,
of course.
this is gonna sound self-promoting, but I think it's actually a helpful question as somebody who lives in town. Is like, what do you think is the heaviest lift mentally for a Boulder homeowner to consider opening up their house and doing this rental thing during the Sundance period? And I'll give you a few categories to choose from, and you may even say there's actually something different. Is it the effort to get it ready for photos? Is it the effort to leave and actually have it ready for guests? Is it the amount of money, high or low or whatever? Is it neighbors being annoyed? What would you say is the thing that's like? And then I would also tie it in from what you've heard. Is that concern legitimate or not? Is there an easy way path
Yeah.
forward from that?
I have talked about it with, I mean, endless numbers of people about one of the biggest things is like, what do I do with all of my valuables? Like my artwork, my things. How much effort does it take to put those things away? Like emptying drawers, everybody's thinks that, oh, my closet, what do I do? So I think that is probably the one thing I hear the most.
Yeah.
The other piece of it is like, well, I know exactly where I would go, what I would do, but it's that idea of like, wow, this feels like a lot of effort. And my response always is, well, there are people out there to help you with that, right? You can make a very small investment and hire someone to basically come and do all of that for you. I mean, one of our members, Form and Function Organizing, they will come in, you tell them what needs to be packed up, they will pack you up, they will move it away, save it for 10 days, and put it all back when you get home. So there are easy answers
Yeah.
to what feels like a very difficult problem. Does cut into, the amount of money that you're going to make off of that, but so at the end of the day, it's how much effort do you want to put in versus how much do you want just like hit the easy button, everything disappears, come back, hit the button again, and it's all back where it belongs.
Yeah, I definitely have seen a lot of that hesitation of just trying to wrap your head around, well, what do I do with this one thing, let alone all the things that they also feel the same way about. And I think one of the things that I talked about on Monday night at that panel that is maybe a new way that I'm an entrepreneur by nature. I've done that for the last 20 years of my working career. And so this is the way my brain works, but it's like these numbers differ depending on the kind of house you have. But
Right.
if I could be told that I could make $10,000 a year renting for Sundance, but I have to spend $5,000 in this first year to make that work.
Hmm.
But I don't necessarily have to spend five every year after that.
Right.
Maybe another 500 to 1,000 every other year in that moment. If you told me that I could invest five to $15,000 to make 100,
Right.
I'm asking you more about how to start that business. Like take
Right.
take my house out of it. If you're just pitching
Right.
me a business of invest five now and 1,000 every year after, and you make
Hmm.
100, I'm like, tell me more.
Yeah. What
Is there
business is
some
that?
effort with it?
Yeah.
And I do think everyone's fears are totally fair of the effort that they want to put in or not. But if you look at it with the 10-year runway, I think the math
Right.
and the effort starts to feel a lot more worth your while.
Right. And
And
especially when people forget that if a house runs well the first year, most of the time those people are renewing for the following year before they've even left. They're locking it in. So truly, this idea of like a first year, first mover advantage, it is real, and
yeah,
I've heard it.
yeah.
Yeah.
And we're starting to see that more and more with the things that are
Hmm.
getting booked. And I think I've even had
Yeah.
somebody be like, when can we maybe consider this next year? And it's like, well,
Right.
get here first,
Yeah.
but I
Uh,
appreciate that you're already thinking strategically.
we
Yeah.
had a neighbor, and they came in and they said, "We want to book it for the next 10 years." And the neighbor was like, "I don't even know if I'm going to own this house for 10 years."
Yeah.
But
And
I mean,
that's true.
I don't think that that's out of the ordinary. These
Yeah.
people come in from out of town. They don't want to have to look every year.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's not even them looking. It's like a manager who's
Yeah.
looking. The manager just wants to lock it in. Done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's
So you're
awesome.
right. I know. Next year, I'll help you.
Um, I think this is a good transition to the edit. This is a really fun, cool idea that you guys have been putting together. And I've only kind of dug in a little bit on it. I think I know the general idea,
Hmm.
but tell us a little bit more about the edit and how you guys look at coming alongside some of the people attending the festival in January.
Yeah. So when Sundance came and we started talking to our members, and we were like, oh, we know so many cool things that are going on throughout Boulder County, and yeah, a lot of things that people wouldn't necessarily from out of town be able to find that easily. Um, and we started thinking about it, and we were like, oh my gosh, well, we have met over the years with thousands of local business owners, and whether that's the small barn up in Hygiene that does horseback riding lessons and does like sunrise horseback ride, trail rides, to the vintage jean woman who will like fit you in a pair of really cool vintage jeans, and I mean just thousands of businesses. And we almost felt obligated to start the edit, where we were like, we are truly uniquely positioned to be able to help curate like an incredible day for a visitor to Boulder. We want them to go to the movies and do all the things on Pearl Street and go to all the fun activations and the galas, and but everybody's going to find themselves with some downtime, and we want to fill that time with like really uniquely Boulder experiences and things that a person is really drawn to. So let's say, for example, someone is really outdoorsy, but they've never been rock climbing before, or they've never
Sure.
done
Yeah.
paragliding. Well, I mean, I can do that for you. I could set you up with 3 days of outdoor activities um, to kind of fill the gaps of your time, and you would walk away as a client saying, that was amazing. Boulder's incredible. And again, this idea of really putting Boulder's best foot forward. If you're into art and food, well, I mean, like, I can tell you how to curate your day. Where should you go for coffee on day one, day two, day three?
Yeah.
What's the best place for lunch? And then where are you going to go for dinner? Do you want to have a chef to your home? The, all of those things. We've been really lucky over the years to just meet so many incredible business owners, and we want to be able to feature them all. So we
Love
we
that.
just jumped in and decided to launch a new business on it's a separate from the Scout Guide, but it's both Erin Clow and I running it together, and it's amazing. We've been lucky to partner with incredible businesses throughout Boulder County who are on our partner list, and then we're going to be curating these incredible days for people who are visiting our community, and they're going to walk away thinking that Boulder is the coolest town they've ever been to.
I love that. And I do think there's so many different directions you could go with catering that specifically to somebody's passions, interests. And I do, from the short time we've known each other for the last year or so, it's like you do know a lot of those people and a lot of those ideas and a lot of those hole in the wall places that you may not find yourself at if somebody didn't take you by the hand and lead you there. So I think
Yeah.
that's really, really fun.
Yeah, and
Um,
we are literally taking them by the hand. It'll be like white
yeah,
glove service, door to
totally.
door, making sure people have just the seamless experience while they're here in town.
Yeah, and I think one of the things that as I've done this type of rentals over the last 7 years and not even 15 years, when I started renting just a few homes through Airbnb, when you realize it's not just about getting money for a night stay, but you realize I'm uniquely able to point people in a direction to things that they wouldn't find on their own,
Right.
and the amount of people. I used to run a beer fest, and so that was something I just threw on my profile, not thinking about it, and I kept getting people being like, "What breweries should I go to?" And I'm like,
Right.
"Why are they asking me this?
Right.
How do they know? Do I look?" No, but it was like my joy to be able to be like, "Oh, you're staying in this city? Okay, do this one, that one,
Do
this
all
one."
these things.
Yeah, like
This
it
and this and
it
this and that.
that
Love that.
hospitality side of what this is as a moment for us as a city, and as a community, I think is not getting enough conversation yet, because I think the idea of how do we get the housing, or how
Right.
what is it going to cost? Who's coming? What's like? There's all sorts of other questions that are super fair to be asking. But I think there's a lot of collaborative, community based connection moments between local businesses to provide amazing experiences for everyone that's coming. And I love that there's a place that's, oh, you don't have to look at it. We got you covered.
We got you.
So
You just
I think
fill
that's
out my questionnaire, tell me what you are excited about, and I'm going to tell you all the great things that we have in our community.
I love that. So, um, looking forward, and as we're sort of, I think the reason we've found value in these conversations is, one, like, you and I get to have these kinds of conversations a lot, and
Oh,
it does feel
right.
almost like a little bit like, well, we know we're
I
we're
know.
in it, but we still
Right.
learn from each other. But like, I really like that people can hear this conversation. And so as things are going to this next stage, and here's where we're going and here's what's next, what do you think people should be paying attention to over the next 3 months, over the next 9 months, to to be ready, to be engaged? I really like that word that you said it from the Sundance Ambassador part, to to be prepared for what is coming for you.
Yeah. I mean, half of it is just going into it with a great attitude. I mean, inevitably, there's going to be some chaos the first year. There's going to be some kinks that have to be worked out. But that's with anything new. And I think going out into it with an open mind, if you thought, oh, I'm not interested in renting my house, maybe think about it. Maybe have a conversation around it, because it might be something that actually makes sense for you. Um, I think if you decide to stay, find a way to be engaged. Are you going to volunteer? Um,
Yeah.
how are you going to be part of Sundance? Are you going to go to all the movies? Amazing. Get your tickets as soon as they come out, end of September. But like, think about how you want to be present or not present, right, for the festival, and make a plan. I think if you, people who don't make a plan are going to be the ones who are the most frustrated.
Yeah, I think that's actually really good advice. Is if you're just sort of sitting on the sidelines, ignoring it, it can maybe have more of a negative impact, negative experience for you.
Right. Yeah.
And I grew up in Boulder, so like I remember what it feels like every Memorial Day when there's
Right.
lots of people coming into town, and there's a few hours a day where you're like, well, I can't drive that way. I can't get to that thing. Would I take a couple hours of not being able to drive my ideal way to being able to be a place that hosts one of the cooler events in the country? The answer
Totally.
is yes.
Yes.
The answer is yes. And I get it that it'll be different and all the things, but I do think we are the kind of community that if we keep our minds open to what it could be,
Hmm.
and I really repeat a lot, visit Boulders like host with heart. That's bigger than
Right.
just your home.
Yeah.
As community members, we get to host with heart how we show up and how we treat the people who are coming here,
Yeah.
and engage in that way. So I love that.
I love that. And, and go, if you're going to be here and you're going to stay, go, because I feel like you can't be negative if you haven't participated in some way.
Yeah,
Um, and I would use the Boulder International Film Festival as the perfect example. It's been around for 22 years. There are a lot of people in the community who have never been to. We have our own little film festival that happens every April, and it's an incredible film festival.
yeah,
So go to these things, participate in your community, do the Boulder. It's so
yeah.
fun, right? Even if you walk it, or if you just sit on the sidelines in your front
Or,
yard
or
and
you
shoot
dance your
people with
way down
water
the street
guns.
the whole time in a tutu. It's the best.
Exactly.
It's the best.
Oh, is that you? Is that you
It
every
might have
year,
been at
Ross?
some point, but and then I can't
But
say that
you have
it
to
happened again.
participate in these community events. Be part of it. Put a smile on your face. What do they say? Fake it till you make it, right? Put a smile on your face, and I promise you, go and you'll have fun, or you'll enjoy wherever you are if you decide you're not going to be here for it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Christy, obviously we look forward to continuing to work alongside each other as we learn more and figure out how to help people engage. And I love that we're uh, you know, in line with that attitude of trying to help people get there.
Yeah.
As,
And
as
I
we
always
close,
say call
oh,
me or email me, text,
yeah,
Instagram me. If you have
that's right.
questions, anything about Sundance that you want answered, if you
I
want to
love that.
figure out how to engage and be involved as a Sundance ambassador, I'm here
We'll,
to just
we'll
help answer
we'll
those
put all
questions.
your details in the YouTube notes. I don't know
Great.
how to do that, but somebody at my office does. So we'll make it easy for people to find you.
Okay. Sounds
Um,
great.
but as we close up today, where can people find Scout Guide Boulder? Where can they not
S-
only run into the actual magazine, but where can they run into Scout Guide?
So we have offices on Broadway. We're at the Acre is the name of our co-working space, and we've got an actual office there, so you can pop in anytime and come see us. We have a library full of guides from all across the country, so you can find us there. Um, you can find the actual guide at all of our member businesses. We're up at Chautauqua, we're at the Concierge at the Moxie and at the Limelight, we're at the St. Julian. You know, stop in anywhere around town and ask, do you have a copy of the Scout Guide? And chances are you're going to find one.
Love it. And any final thoughts that you can leave us with for Boulder homeowners and businesses as we step into the next 8+ months of
Yeah. Yeah,
preparing?
I just say, again, here we are so lucky to be able to host this legacy event. 40 years, 40 plus years in Park City, and now it's in our town. So, go into it just with an open mind. Go into it wanting to represent Boulder in the best way possible, whether that's personally or through your business. Um, and ask for help. Reach out if you have questions. There's so many people at Sundance, at Visit Boulder, at Fox Property, at the Scout Guide. If you have questions, find someone who can help you with the answers.
Love it. Well, thank you so much for taking some time today,
Thanks,
Christy.
Ross.
We appreciate all of the things that you're working through and making this a good event for our community.
And you
Um,
guys too. I mean, Fox is doing such hard work making sure people have good places to stay and homeowners feel comfortable. It's all really important work. So thank you guys.
that's very kind of you to say. It's been an interesting journey, but I think overall a fun journey. And I think it's been the people that we continue to meet along the way has been the highlight. So we're
Absolutely.
excited to see where this goes, and I think there's a lot of fun to follow. So
How many
anyway,
days till January 21st?
I'm
Do you have a countdown
not
yet?
I'm not quite down to that, but if you know what 8 months, 8 days is, you can do the math pretty fast.
Yeah.
And I just did that really fast. So anyway, um,
All right.
uh,
Thank you.
thanks so
It
much
was
for
a
your time,
pleasure.
Christy,
Appreciate it.
and we'll be in touch soon. Thanks,
Sounds
Christy.
great. All right. Bye.
Bye.